Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Yvonne from Ginger Chick Rehab. If you are new here, I love secondhand finds. Not only do I decorate my home with them, am I a reseller, but I also love to share the process here on the channel of how to make these items over and give them new life. So in today's video, it is one of those. It is a trash to treasure. I am taking some cute little animals that are worse for wear. A lot of them are worse for wear, and showing you how you can save them from the landfill and give them new life. And there is a lot of techniques in this video today. So either get a pencil paper ready to jot things down, or put this after you watch it on your save for later list.
Are these three not adorable? So I don't know if these were like ceramic pieces back in the day. They're solid actually, but you can see over time they just have, because they were unfinished, they have lots of dirt on them. And for some reason, Mama Owl is two-sided, but I think that's super cute. So now I am going to be testing out a whole bunch of different techniques of how to age all these little critters in this video. And I'm starting off with Dixie Belle's Copper Patina. Right off the bat, you can tell how beautiful this is. Now I'm doing a pouncing technique. I just have a brush. It's a stencil brush from the Dollar Tree store. So I'm just going to go ahead and pounce it on. That'll kind of give it that nice metal texture. And then hopefully, I might be, actually it looks like it's covering really well, that I might only have to do one coat. Just trying to get into all those little crevices of the detail on this beautiful piece. The patina paints have metal in them, and they react with the patina spray. So I have the blue and I have the green, and I'm going to go ahead and mix the two together, just spraying one on top of the other, and let it do its magic. You can see it right off the bat. It starts making a beautiful turquoise color. I'm just going to let the drips and runs just run right down. After a couple hours, this is what it looks like. It looks like it has been out in the rain, out in the weather. I love the drips, but I want to pop a little bit more of the details and really give it that realistic look. Just by adding some of the Jolie's black wax, I can achieve this. Go ahead and seal my patina in using some Weather Defense clear coat. Now these two came in an auction lot. I didn't necessarily bid on them. They were an extra. And as you see, somebody else tried to do them as their project piece but did not complete them. But what had me was all that beautiful detail on these. Now these are ceramic. They are hollow, but oh, that detail. For this pair, I'm going to test out the bronze. The copper and the bronze are new to me. I have not used these two at all. So same thing, I just have a Dollar Tree stencil brush. Not really where I can flare out the bristles and really get it into all that detailed area. And this seems to be just like the copper. It seems to be covering up in one coat. If you were wondering, yes, I did do the bottoms of each one of the pieces, just so you know that. And now I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to mix the green and the blue patina together, spraying one right after each other. Oh, that turquoise is so beautiful. See how all that detail, that liquid just kind of rests right in it as it runs down on the piece. Oh my goodness. Love it, love it, love it. So now, same thing. I want to pop the details a little bit, make it not look like that I just painted the piece, and using some of that Jolie's wax, just like a dry brush, just enough just to hit on some of those detailed areas to just add a little bit more something to make it pop. A little bit of that weather defense to seal that patina in. Next up is this super shiny silver chest piece. Yes, I think it was just like a Target room treat, I think it was called, when I took the tag off. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and take that felt off the bottom. It's stained up, so and since I want to try a technique on it, I'm not going to worry about it. So yes, so we'll just toss it off to the side. I do need to get the sticky residue that it left behind off of it, so I'm just going to go ahead and use some Glue Gun to remove it. This is just a resin piece, but it's so shiny. So I'm going to go ahead with some 80 grit sandpaper just to rough that up, to give something for my paint to grab onto. If it was really shiny, it'll probably just, you know, wipe off. So at least if I have some marks from the sandpaper, it'll have something to grab onto. Now, my original thought when I bought this one was I was just going to paint it black and leave it, but I am having so much fun with these patinas. And this is my second jar of the iron patina. It just came in time for this video. Oh yeah, y'all, I'm having way too fun with Rusty Crusty. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and use the iron patina on this night, but I need to stir this up, get all those yummies off the bottom and get them thoroughly mixed in. So this one is definitely going to need 2 coats, and yes, I accidentally grabbed the wrong bag with the wrong brush. So then I just thought I would do the detailed areas. I don't know if it'll really make a difference when we go to put the spray on, since I have to put a second coat on, but you know, it's already on there. Not a lot of detail on this chest piece, so I'm just going to leave it as it is and just seal it in. Yep, a wooden toy sheep is next up. I want to give this little sheep some age. I don't know, when you guys look at stuff at the thrift store, do you automatically right away know what you could do to it? When I saw this in the toys section at the thrift store, you never know what people are going to set down. Yeah, so I thought, I think I can do something, but not a lot of the pieces and parts come apart or anything like that. It's a homemade piece. But I'm going to go ahead and age and distress the really clean paint job. I know it's not everybody's taste to have stuff dirty and rusty and crusty, but it is mine. So I hope that you just enjoy the show. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and sand as much of it as I can using my mouse sander. I'm not trying to get rid of the paint. I'm just trying to make it look like this little sheep had been well played with. And some of the areas I need to go back in and just hand sand because my mouse sander does not fit in there. But my idea for this was, a little kid just absolutely fell in love with this little sheep and just carried it everywhere with them. And so it will show its age. For me, sanding alone just isn't enough, and to round those very sharp edges of that piece of wood, I'm just taking a hammer and rounding them. See how that just pounds it in, and it'll give it that I've been bumped into the wall, into the door, been thrown on the ground kind of effect. And then I'll take the back of the hammer and actually do some claw marks in it just to make it look like it has boo-boos. Now I want to age that piece of furriness. Yes, all that fake wool that's on there, I want to give it some age. So here we go. Instant coffee, cinnamon, and nutmeg. So the combination of the three to give this some age. So I'm just using a mister bottle. I'm going to just mist and get this wet. And then I'll put the three on top of each other just randomly to give it that age. I'll go ahead and mist it again, and then that'll really get it in there. Then for the angles that I just couldn't quite get, I'll just take my finger and get some of that patina off the plate and go ahead and stick it in those areas. Can't give this sheep a whole bunch of age and have a shiny bell, so I'm going to go ahead and use some of the iron paint to give this bell some rusty crusty at the end. And then I actually am going to, because I couldn't get the ribbon to lay down, one side is kinked out, I ended up just pulling the ribbon off and just pulling the bell off and doing it separately. While my coffee mixture is still wet, I'm going to work on the bottom. I'm going to do a combination of Waverly's Antiquing Wax, that black wax by Jolie, and just mixing the two together to give it a dirty type of look, just rubbing it right on that whole entire area. And after it's dry, I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue. I patinaed the little bell off camera. So I'm just going to take some hot glue and stick it right where that ribbon was previously. Now we're going to do this wooden bunny, and it reminds me of one that I kept seeing in one of our local antique malls that just sat and sat and sat. So I was kind of curious, well, is it the same one or just by chance is it something else? So I know that this one could use a makeover. So first we're going to do is once I notice the tag at the bottom, we're going to take the tag off. That will say, yes, this is not an old item by any means because it has a China sticker on it. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove that ribbon. I'm going to get back out my mouse sander and I'm going to start sanding some of the original paint off. This is a really rough and textured piece. Like if you go to touch it, it just has a lot of roughness. So one that's going to help smooth that down, and it's also going to give it a little bit more of an aged of a look. That I have it all sanded, I need to age the wood that's underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and use that same mixture, the Waverly and the Antiquing Wax, my go-to for making things look old. But I'm going to really concentrate on that pine wood that's showing up underneath. Now my next step is to brighten the bunny back up just a little bit. I think it looks pretty, but I would like to just bring back some of that lightness of the white. So I'm just going to use a dry brush technique and just a little bit of the Cashmere color from Fusion just to achieve this. Just letting it kind of hit the edges and the detailed areas, and like I said, just bring it a little bit more back to life. Now, my last project is these two, very well loved. I think they were outside Resin Ducks. So they already have the chippy paint that most of us do love, but the legs have been snapped and broken and re-glued. And for some reason, one is leaking water, so must have water inside, so I have to deal with that. But I think we can make them better. I'm going to go ahead and start off by cleaning them. There's a lot of dirt buildup on there. Get their bellies all scrubbed. And when I got to the feet, I'm like, oh, the feet have blue on them too. It's not just brown. So yes, they definitely needed a bath. So I think the culprit is right here where some leakage is happening. There's a crack on the upper part here, so I thought I'll just go ahead and drill a hole, but as you see quickly, I didn't even have to turn it on. All I did was puncture it. Yeah, anyway, and there comes the water. There is a hole by the two legs, but there's somehow water is stuck in that part of it, so I wanted to make sure that I got that drained out. Sure if that section is connected with the drainage holes that are by the legs. So I just wanted to make sure that I could get most of that out. Wondering, now that I made a hole, how am I going to fix it? I actually took a piece of packing tape, some masking tape, and stuck it in there. Sorry, the camera was not rolling at the time. I thought I hit it. But now I'm using some of the CA glue that comes with an accelerator that will dry it. So that tape is sticky enough to give me something to build up on, and the CA glue will build up on it. It's just a little spot that we need to fix so there's not that hole there anymore. And also, both legs have cracks in them. The foot is kind of loose. There must be a wire in there so it's not completely off, but it does cause the ducks to be unbalanced on both of the ducks. So same thing, I'm just going to build that glue up, that CA glue up. It's nice because it's this is something great to have in your arsenal if you're a flipper, or even if you just have items laying around your house that you need to glue, because it is completely sandable. I have no worries ever using the CA glue. So yes, I'm just going to go ahead and sand most of it down, and then I'll do the detail sanding with some hand sandpaper. So I love the chippiness. I love the blue. I love the gray of the resin is showing underneath. I just like the age of it all. So I'm going to stick with that theme and use some of the Dixie Belle's sea salt. I'm going to mix it in with some Fusion's Cashmere paint. And I'm trying just to get enough just to do the 2 ducks. So I'm just eyeballing my mixture. And I set it off to the side a little bit and let it thicken up, and so it'll be nice and thick. So I'm just going ahead and using another one of those Dollar Tree stencil brush. I'm not looking for complete coverage by any means on this piece, but I am doing a pouncing technique. You want those little peaks of that paint and that salt wash to be standing upright, so that's what's really going to give it that texture. So I thought I was going to need a bigger brush, but I ended up just using the smaller brush the entire time. It was working out just fine because it's kind of hard to get underneath that leg, that leg and that foot area. Now that my paint is dry, I'm just going to go ahead and start sanding. I just have some 120 sandpaper. It really sands easier than you think. I just want it to be that chippy look, but those peaks are now dry, and that's what will sand off and give you all that yummy texture. Now that I've got it sand smooth, oh my gosh, I just love this patina. Now I'm just going to add some age to it because, you know, if it's chippy and old, it's usually not clean white. So I have some of the Jolie's wax, a little bit of the Waverly Antiquing wax, and I have the Varathane clear wax to wipe off. So what I'm doing is I'm just dry brushing that antiquing wax and the Jolie's black wax on. You can see how it's hitting all that texture, but I don't want it to look black and I don't want it to look brown from the wax. So once I get it applied, I'll just take a little bit of the clear wax and blend it all in and wipe off excess. My last little step is to give this ducky a pedicure. Okay, well, the bottom of his feet. I'm just going to go ahead and clean up that messy area just with some Fusion's Coal Black paint. Go ahead and add in this bonus. Add a little bit of that Saltwash paint left, and I have a little birdie that does not have a beak, and the CA glue, the Starbond CA glue, is wonderful for building little pieces like this. So all I'm doing is I'm just going to put a little drop right at the tip where the little beak was supposed to be. I'm going to apply some of the dryer, let that dry for 15 seconds, and then just kind of doing another drip, and then I'm going to hold the birdie upside down so it kind of goes into a drip to make the beak. And as I said before, it is so easy to sand. The longer you let it cure, the harder it is to sand. But if you do it immediately after doing something like this, you can sand it and shape it. And the way the drip was, I really had minimal sanding. Y'all do that too. If you have a little bit of something left like this, salt wash, I'm like, what do I have that I can use that up? I don't want to just dump it into the trash. If you don't believe me, you should have some Starbond CA glue in your arsenal. Here is the proof. Look at that. Our little birdie now has a beak. So I'm just sanding it. This is so small that it's really kind of hard to sand, but I just really wanted to show you how you could fix that little birdie's beak.
Okay, did you all save this video? Yes, I said there was a lot of techniques in this video. It was fun to test out different techniques. I had a lot of little critters, so I hope I shared some fixes for you all. And just, it's fun. It's fun to not always do everything all alike. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments below which one of the items I made over were your favorite, and which one of the techniques are you willing to try, or do you already try? I would love to read your comments. So as always, if you're a part of our YouTube family, thank you so much for your continuous support. Just those comments, sharing our videos, getting them out there, just help support us being able to do what we love. So, and if you are new here and you'd like to help support and you like this kind of content, smash that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you know we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye!